Hi, very good evening. So Friday time, so we'll have a general discussion today. So how is this? Well, so we're going to have a discussion, but before that, I'm going to tell you a story on a person who is exceptionally optimistic, determined, and a story of a person who doesn't know about coding. We have this computer science, coding, programming. He knows nothing about programming, but he still runs one of the biggest e-commerce chains in the world. That's nothing but Alibaba. And you might have heard of Singles Day in China. I mean, every year November 11th is celebrated as Singles Day. And on one day itself, Alibaba had made a revenue of $24 billion. So I was just trying to convert these dollars into rupees, and I couldn't literally count, and it's 1 billion, approximately 100 crore, it's $24 billion. So that's the magnanimity of this e-commerce giant, which sells more number of products, only second to Walmart, and its total revenues are more than, combined revenues of eBay, we have Amazon. So it's like, it's a technology giant, or it's an e-commerce giant. So today we're going to discuss the story of Jack Ma. You might have heard of his name. He even has investments in our very Indian Paytm. So Jack Ma, it was quite interesting when going through his. In fact, I'm listening to his autobiography using my Audible app, which is again a product of Amazon. And China, he is basically from China, and when KFC entered China's market, in fact, he applied a job in KFC, and of all the 24 candidates who attended the job, 23 of them could get the job except Jack Ma. So he had failures throughout his life. Right from his teenage, and later he settles and he learns some English, and he started helping tourists in translating and all, and finally he starts his own business at 31 years, and now he is one of the richest man in the world. So we're going to go through the story of Jack Ma, and there is a lot to learn, and the only thing underlying all this is, he says, we learn more from our failures than from our success, because if you try to compare failures or success of different people, more or less everyone will, whoever is succeeding, they'll have their own way of success. But those who are failing, we see many failures all over, those who are failing will have many common attributes, and if we can catch them up, we can definitely succeed from others' failures. In the sense, we can learn lessons and we can apply them to our own personal things or professional things, and can come out of life in flying colors. And you can go through his autobiography, it's available in Amazon, or you can even go through the app, Audible, if you're really busy. You can do all this after January 7th, right? So, a very good evening all of you. I hope it is streaming fine, and I hope I'm audible. Let me know if there are any issues. Then we'll proceed with that story. Yes, that's interesting. He was rejected even in Harvard University, and the same university, known to be a top 5 or top 3 in the entire world, calls him to deliver a guest lecture for some convocation or something. So he says, in his convocation address, he says, I was rejected by the same college, but I was invited by the same college for the convocation day speech or something, and that is nothing but success, isn't it? So we have a lot many stories and a lot many interesting quotes given by Jack Ma, and he is very sarcastic. If you go through his YouTube videos, even President Obama broke his protocol, and he even interviews Jack Ma. You can go through all those interviews. Jack Ma is very funny, very sarcastic. You'll enjoy his videos. And even he says in one of his speeches that he doesn't know anything about coding, software programming or anything. He doesn't know anything about selling or buying, but he heads world's topmost brand, that is Alibaba. You might have heard of this name, it's not so popular here, but China and even in other countries, Alibaba is number one. And as I said, the best example is November 11th. Last year they made a business of around $16 billion. There is 40% rise this year. Now it's $24 billion on a single day. We're talking about a single day. So these statistics are mind blowing. So this shows like how much dedication, teamwork. We have a lot to learn from him. So we'll just go through his story. I hope it's audible. Yes, we even have a quote. Abhishek is really helping me a lot today. He says like 20 to 30 years, in your entire lifetime, you have to take risks. There's nothing wrong in it. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter, but you have to take risks because this is the only time in life where you can take risks, 20 to 30. And he says 30 to 40 is, 30 years to 40 years is a time period where you should have some clarity in what best you can do, and you should focus on only doing the best things which you can do. So everyone has their own capabilities or talents. You should only focus on doing your best from 30 to 40. And he says from 40 to 50, just relax, and 50 to 60, he says, give opportunity for the next generation. We have plenty of his videos. You'll just enjoy them, and I personally guarantee you that. Now, going through the story of Jack Ma. So this is a story of an exceptionally optimistic, as we keep on saying, we have to be dangerously be optimistic. This is a story of an exceptionally optimistic, determined entrepreneur, and let's see what Jack Ma's story tells us. Jack Ma, founder of e-commerce giant Alibaba, and is a stakeholder in Alipay. Just like Paytm, we have online wallet Alipay in China, its sister company, which is an e-payment portal. He is now officially the richest man in China, estimated worth 25 billion, and that's all fine. And given all of this, Jack Ma holds only 7.8% stake in Alibaba and 50% stake in Alipay. Alibaba and Jack Ma, although are not household names out of China, you must know that Alibaba is worth more than Facebook, Amazon, eBay, and it processes goods more than eBay and Amazon combined. And this might be beginning to seem like the story of an arrogant and rich billionaire who hasn't seen the dark. But don't be mistaken by the numbers that you see above. They can fool anyone. Although, as simple as it may sound, Jack Ma had its heart in his life. He struggled. It's like a story of a person who comes from rags to riches, to simply put. And Jack Ma is one of those self-made billionaires with humble beginnings. Jack Ma was born in Hangzhou, a place in China. Hangzhou, located in the southeastern part of China. He was born and raised along with elder brother and younger sister during the rise of communist China and its isolation from Western regions. His parents were traditional musicians, storytellers, and they didn't make enough to be even considered as middle class during those days. So they were poor, literally. And former US President Richard Nixon's visit to Hangzhou in 1972 improved the situation of tourism in his hometown, and Jack wanted to make the most of this opportunity. Jack always wanted to learn English as a kid. Even though English was not so widespread there, he had this interest or a passion towards learning English and giving English tours to foreigners for free. It was then he met a foreign girl who gave him the nickname Jack, for his name was hard to spell for her. And his original name is Ma Yun, M-A-Y-U-N, Ma Yun. So that's how he got his name Jack Ma. And Jack, after graduating with bachelor's degree in English, worked as an English teacher at Hangzhou Dainzi University with a pay of $12 per month. Now he becomes, here comes the part where it gets more interesting. Even before he has received the degree and became an English teacher, Jack Ma, as it's an extremely lucky bloke who just became a millionaire in a snap, but it is safe to know that rejections are synonymous with Jack Ma. You wouldn't believe the number of times this man has been rejected and failed. And one such example is his job application to KFC. When KFC came to China, 24 people went for the job and 23 people were accepted. I was the only guy, said Jack in one of the interviews. In his early childhood, Jack Ma failed in his primary school examinations not once but twice. Here it's unimaginable. In our country, fail, if you say fail, BDS or anything, it's unimaginable. We'll isolate them, we'll look at them very low, so it's a totally different story, isn't it? He failed thrice during his middle school, failed twice in primary, thrice in middle school, and when applying to universities after his school, Jack failed the entrance exams thrice before finally joining Hangzhou Normal University. He even applied and wrote to Harvard University, as Abhishek said, 10 times. He applied to Harvard University 10 times about being admitted and got rejected each time, and this was only during his education. And during and after his bachelor's degree, Jack tried and failed to get a job at a multitude of places. After spending 3 years to get into university, Jack failed to land a job after applying to them 30 times. He recollects in his interview, when KFC came to India, 24 people went for job and 23 were accepted. I was the only guy who wasn't. He was one of the 5 applicants to a job in police force and was the only one getting rejected after being told, no, you're not so good. And also on his entrepreneurial undertakings, Jack Ma went on to fail on 2 of his initial ventures. But that didn't stop him in any way of dreaming bigger. So he says, you're down, but you're not still out. In one of his interviews, when asked about his rejections, his job interviews, experiences and all, this is what he had to say. Well, I think we have to get used to it. We are not that good. Overcoming the pain of rejections and treating rejections as opportunities to learn and grow was what Jack Ma made of it, ultimately. And after finally coming to terms with all of his rejections and failures, Jack Ma visits US in 1995 for a government undertaking project related to building of highways. It was then that Jack Ma was first introduced to the internet and computers. Computers were pretty rare in China then, given the high costs associated with them, and internet or emails were literally non-existent. The first word, this was in 1980s, 1970s, that period. And the first word he searched on the Mosaic browser was beer, B-E-E-R, beer. And it popped out results from different countries, but signs of China anyway. He then searched China and not a single result popped out. He decided it was time for China and its people to get onto the internet. Finally, after persuading 17 of his other friends to invest and join his new e-commerce startup Alibaba, the company began from his own apartment. Initially, Alibaba didn't have a single penny in investments from outside investors, but later raised some 20 million from SoftBank, 5 million from Goldman Sachs in 1999, etc. And Alibaba is not a Chinese word. As you know, Alibaba has its roots from Arabic origin. And building trust among the people of China that an online system of payment and package transfers is safe was the biggest challenge Jack Ma and Alibaba faced. A challenge that Jack will cherish for his lifetime. Ultimately, this leads to starting of Alipay. And having started his first successful company at the age of 31, and even after never having written a single code or selling something to anyone, Jack Ma runs one of the biggest e-commerce networks in the world. And the company went on to grow rapidly, expanding all across the world, quickly growing out of China's shell. Only second to Walmart now in terms of sales per year, Alibaba has become the e-commerce giant that Jack Ma has envisioned for it. So this is the story of Jack Ma. So initially he was very poor. He was passionate, learning English, and from there he starts his ventures, and ultimately, in spite of numerous rejections, most of normal people, like with normal dreams or we can say normal kind of thinking, would go into depression and will definitely go for suicide as an option. But in spite of having these kind of rejections, it's really hard for someone to overcome them, look them as opportunities, and then fight back, and then come out of life in this in this manner. It's totally astounding, and it's really inspiring. And Jack usually gave, I mean, in his interviews he gives a number of quotes, and we have a list of his quotes, and I'll be giving you select quotes, and these are really very inspiring, right? So before that, we'll just take a 2-minute break. So we have a few audience here, and then we'll proceed with the quotes of Jack Ma. Okay, you see browser is also an Alibaba product. Good. See, I'm busy here talking or telling you a story of Jack Ma or Alibaba and how he grew from rags to riches. And the audience here is busy cutting the leaves. You can just have a look. Hey, Toffee. Toffee. Toffee, come on. He's busy. He's too busy. Okay. Yeah, I think we're back again. So Jack Ma gives us a lot to learn, and here are his quotes. I mean she, and I said she, I didn't say he, okay? Gina, you're always behind my back reminding me that she is she, but not he. So Jack says, no matter how tough the chase is, you should always have the dream you saw on the first day. This is very important because most of us dream big, but the problem is we can't sustain it, isn't it? I mean, it can be anything. For example, I've been talking to many students, I've been mailing them regarding retrograde schedules. Okay, 60 to 70% I'm getting fantastic reply, but few of them say like, we are not following it now. We used to follow it previously, but we're not following it now. Not following it simply because of various other reasons. See, we all dream, we all think of doing good things, but the problem is sustainability. It doesn't sustain, and there is no success, obviously, isn't it? No matter how tough the chase is, you should always have the dream you saw on the first day. It will keep you motivated and rescue you from any weak thoughts. And help young people, of course we're all young, help small guys, because small guys will be big. Young people will have the seeds you bury in their minds, and when they grow up, they will change the world. And I try to make myself happy because I know that I'm not happy, my colleagues are not happy, and my shareholders are not happy, and my customers are not happy. Even in my case, I mean, no matter how many challenges you have to be happy when many people are following you or taking you as a source of inspiration. That's what it says. Even in your case, only if you're happy, your loved ones will be happy, your family members will be happy. Ultimately, it's going to be positive, isn't it? Isn't it? Don't you think so? I try to make myself happy because I know that if I'm not happy, my colleagues are not happy, and my shareholders are also not happy, and of course my customers will never be happy. And without internet, there would be no Jack Ma. This tells us the significance of social networking, telecommunications, internet overall, like what kind of impact it can have on lives of entire people. You can see this has revolutionized the way in which we communicate, the way in which we do business, and the way in which we actually learn, isn't it? This couldn't have been possible some 15 or 20 years ago, leave about 15, even 10, 15 years ago. This is quite unimaginable, but technology has given us this enormous opportunity. That's what I put in somewhere here. It's given us enormous opportunity, and now we are able to learn no matter where you stay. We're able to communicate no matter where you stay, any part of the world. The world has become a much smaller place. And we should feel fortunate for that. We should have that sense of gratitude. But of course, we take these things for granted and we see only the darker side, isn't it? So I have a thought regarding that. And he says, I'm not a tech guy. I'm looking at technology with the eyes of my customers, normal people's eyes. And never ever do business with government, be in love with them, never marry them. Okay, that's all fine. And he says, if you have never tried, how will you ever know if there is any chance? If you have never tried, how will you ever know if there is any chance? You will know whether there is chance or not only once you try, isn't it? And if you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. It's not failing which is considered as greatest failure, but giving up is the greatest failure. Because if you don't give up, you still have a chance, isn't it? And life is so short, so beautiful. Don't be so serious about work. Enjoy the lives. That's wonderful. And the opportunity lies in the place where complaints are. And when you are small, you have to be very focused and rely on your brain, not your strength. And today making money is very simple. But making sustainable money while being responsible to society and improving the world is very difficult. And this is my personal favorite. Making money is of course easy. You can make money somehow. You can make money somehow. That's not an issue. But making sustainable money while being responsible to society and improving the world is very, very challenging. And he says, you never know that the things you're doing are that meaningful to society. And if we are a good team and know what we want to do, one of us can defeat 10 of them. A leader should have higher grit and tenacity and be able to endure what the employees can't. That's the quality of a leader according to Jack. And a peace talk is always difficult, always complicated. And I don't want to be liked, I want to be respected. That's what Jack says. And you never know how much, it's like, for example, you might have seen your staff. Let's just correlate this in our scenario. We walk in a corridor, we come across some staff. See, we wish them out of compulsion, but only few staff we wish them out of love or out of likeness, isn't it? So I don't want to be liked, I want to be respected. So there is a huge difference here. So something which comes naturally from the bottom of the heart, it's always sustainable. But you make it something compulsory, then it's like artificialness. That's what we experience, or you might have experienced in your daily lives as well. It's not that impressing others or commanding respect or demanding respect is something you have to be liked from within. And he says, you never know how much you can do in your life, and you have infinite potential which can be tapped and which can be seen only on tapping. And you should learn from your competitor but never copy. You copy, you type. And it doesn't matter if I fail. At least I pass the concept on to others. Even if I don't succeed, someone else will succeed. So you should have a huge heart to think in those lines. And I call myself a blind man riding on a blind tiger. Okay. We are never in lack of money. We lack people with dreams who can die for those dreams. So we have real scarcity of people who actually dream big and who are dedicated. It's not that we are having deficiency or deficit of money, it's we lack people with commitment, we lack people who dream big and who die for those dreams. And the very important thing you should have is patience. And instead of learning from others people's success, this is very relevant for us. Instead of learning from others people's success, learn from their mistakes. Most of the people who fail share common reasons to fail, whereas success can be attributed to various different kinds of reasons. But failures, they'll have more or less common attributes which can be learned, and we can make sure that we don't fail. And we still have a lot many. Never give up. This is quite awesome. Never give up. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow is going to be sunshine. It's that you have to survive till day after tomorrow. Most of us die tomorrow itself. That's what he says in one of his interviews also. Today is hard, tomorrow is worse, and most of them will die tomorrow itself. But if you wait for day after tomorrow, it's going to be sunshine. That's a natural process. It's very difficult to know the outside world, but you know yourself. You know you need what you want. So it's like, rather than trying to understand the outside world, first learn to know yourself. Once you learn to know yourself, you'll know how to accustom to the outside world. And you know what you want. You need the right people with you, not the best people. And you've got to make your team have value, innovation, and vision. And we appreciate yesterday, but we are looking for a better tomorrow, he says in one of his interviews. And finally, I want to change history, do something important in my life, and influence individuals like we have with millions of small businesses on Alibaba. Then they love and respect you because you made their life important. It's all about giving others even some opportunity so that even they will live along with you. So this is the inspiring story of Jack Ma, billionaire. Jack Ma, a self-made billionaire. So I hope you enjoyed this session, and these are some of the keywords which I got from his inspirational speeches or inspirational talk. You can just go through them. It's even equally important that we have failures, because this is where we learn. We have a lot more experiences, and we are really prepared to face anything that comes in life as a process. And sorry for the spelling mistake, it's not optimism, it is optimism. Right? Yeah. So this is for today's discussion. We have any general questions, you can drop them. We can have some discussion and then we can break. Yes, hi everyone, a very good evening. And when time permits, I suggest you to go through his autobiography. I'll tell you the name of the book, because a few of you, Alibaba, the name of the book is Alibaba, the house that Jack Ma built. Alibaba, the house that Jack Ma built. Very interesting and very inspiring as well. Yeah, hi, very good evening. Yes, and the moment I say, or when discussing or when talking about topic, when I say he, you get a lot of angry. Why? What's the reason? And what does that star mean, Gina? Is it some bad word? So Nidhi has an important question. We should use our brain or listen to our heart? I mean, my opinion, others also can opine. My opinion, both. It's a combination of both. Sometimes we have to be logical and sometimes you have to use your heart. You have to be compassionate. You should have that sense of empathy, isn't it? That's a very good question, Sophia. How to keep focused and motivated for the long-term goal? That's why we say divide and have these short-term goals first. And what drives you for that long-term goal is very important. If I'm preparing for PG, during my preparation, my goal was to crack entrance, go into PG, get an MDS degree, so that I can do a post-graduation department of my choice, and then I can excel later on. That was my long-term goal or dream. I wanted to see myself as an academician as well as clinician. So that was my dream. So what drives you underneath is really important. If there is no strong driving force, you will not have a sustainable work. Obviously, you're going to break or you're going to stop your work mid-time. So if you have a strong reason, like why you want to reach that target, then obviously that itself will drive. And as I said, it's not about the problem of dream. We all dream big. Even we can see there in the quotes. We all dream big. But the thing is, first of all, the first problem is we don't dream big. Even though if we dream big, we'll not sustain it, because today will be worse, tomorrow is going to be even more worse, and after tomorrow it's going to be sunshine. But we're not going to wait, because we are in a world of instant gratification. So we find it really tough to sustain our activity. So it's all about dreaming big, working hard towards your dream, and having that sustainable activity. And how do you sustain your activity? By constantly motivating yourself. That's what we used to do. That's what I keep on insisting my students to do. It's not the extrinsic motivation which I give. This contributes only maybe 1 or 2%, frankly speaking. But what drives you inside, the intrinsic motivation you have, that really keeps you moving forward, and that really sustains your preparation. For example, if it's an entrance. Yes, poor Will. So glad to hear that. Start means take care, right? Yes, Nidhi, which is more superior? I mean, I can't say that, because it depends. It depends upon the situation. Give me a situation, then maybe I can give you. But it depends on situation. Just can't say one is superior or other, because, anyways, that's my perception, right? So it depends on the situation. Yes. So yes, sometimes it happens in order to help others, and despite of having a good intention, it happens that you end up affecting yourself in some way. So should we always be giving or keep it toned? That's true, Sophia. Even I have these personal experiences where even though you have that good intention, but in the process we have a lot of negative impact on ourselves. But I mean, one question you can ask yourself: is it worth doing? If you feel yes, then proceed. Doesn't matter. I mean, if you're doing something for your loved ones, there is nothing wrong, even if you suffer. But just question yourself: is it worth doing? It can be anything for your loved ones or for any other person. So that's what I can say. Prithvi, sir, one question. According to your experience, what do you think this year's NEET paper level would be same as AIMS paper, or it can be more difficult? No, I'm not good at probability or ring gate. I can't say that, but definitely I reckon it's going to be of a very good standard, because we have single session. So obviously, I presume it to be of a very good standard. I'm not saying it's easy or difficult, because I said previously also, if it's easy for me, it can be difficult for the other person, or if it's difficult for me, it can be easy for you. It's all matter of perception, so we really can't say whether it's easy or difficult, but I feel it's going to be of very good standard. Quality questions. I mean, when I say standard, I mean quality questions. Exactly. Well said, Gino. You say give but not get used by others, so that you don't regret. Good. Prashanti, that's a wonderful question. I mean, that's the first time I'm facing this question. There's no secret here. I mean, the question is, you really work hard, share any one moment you got vexed and how you bounced back. Yes, there was a scenario where this happened, literally. I mean, most of our students, or most of you who might have even seen that. I mean, 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, when I said like no live session, that was during Diwali, I think. I don't exactly remember. I was literally vexed up. I couldn't think of any other things. I mean, it was all going in, but I just became blank. I got literally vexed, frustrated. I just wanted to say bye temporarily. I just wanted to take a huge break, because I was involved in live sessions every day, videos, tests, answering mails has become a challenge, and WhatsApp messages has become a really huge challenge. And in that case, yes, take a break. Take a break, do what you love. So obviously, I mean, personally, that's what I keep on saying, students. And thanks for asking, because this is very important, because this is very much relevant for every one of us. Do things which you enjoy. Like I listen more music. Or you can even try long drives with your loved ones, or talk to your loved ones through phone, or if possible through direct communication. Or you can have some good food which you love, I mean, you can have your own interests, right? So you start indulging in them, leave everything aside for 1 or 2 days, or till you feel like you should come back, you'll definitely bounce back. Because it's not about breaking. We all break at one point of time. We all break, that's for sure. But the challenge here is how we come back, and that's your question, isn't it? So we come back. I mean, I come back by doing things which I love. I take break. I just have this one vision. I mean, I should say frankly, I even mentioned this several times. I am an ardent follower of Michael Sandels, Jayaprakash Narayan. I'm a fan of few people, and I'm really inspired by their work. And my personal goal is to make all subject videos covering all subjects in our profession, and these videos should be accessed by any person throughout the world free of cost. It has to be economical, it has to be widely spread throughout, and we should have this kind of communication where myself standing in one place, the other person sitting and listening to my lecture in one country, the third person from a different country altogether. So I just wanted to create a platform where I can share my knowledge and learn in the process and create a kind of positive environment. So this is my huge goal or my ambition, to say frankly. And that really keeps me driving forward. Because if I stop working now, just assume that I'm vexed up, I'm frustrated, I can't work anymore. If I stop here, then I'm never going to reach my target. It's not that I have some 10,000 subscribers or I have some 300 videos here or 500 videos in e-class. It doesn't mean it's over. No. This is a beginning point for me. That's how I think for myself. And I still have a lot to do. I've just done 1 or 2% in my potential, so I still have 97 or 98% to do. So it's about, that's what I said, what drives you inwards, that really takes care of you. I mean, you have this huge dream, then that will, as I said, as Abhishek also got connected to that point previously, you sleep with a sense of satisfaction every night, and you wake up with a bit of excitement, like how can I achieve my target, or how can I plan things, or how can I do this or that. So how satisfied you sleep every night and how excited you wake up every day morning, these are little things which are going to make huge difference in your life, and that comes when you understand what your real passion is. So I know I'm talking too much, but the question is a straight single line, but we will not have a simple answer. So it has to be customized. So I have customized based on my experience, so you can just take out the message which you wanted, right? So what drives you, that really takes care of you. Yes, Shivranji, motivate yourself for a few days, then it becomes your lifestyle. That's true. You have to incorporate this. I mean, that's why they say go through some of the autobiographies, go through some of the quotes, paste them on your wall, go through them repeatedly, talk to your friends, share positive things. I mean, that's what we have been trying to do. It's not that we don't have negativity, but negativity is not going to help you anyways. Negativity will help you realize the beauty of positivity, that's it. But staying in negativity, pessimism doesn't really help you. So we need to have this optimistic way of discussion, like working on solutions rather than complaining or talking only about problems. As I keep on saying, we should be troublemakers, we should be troubleshooters rather than troublemakers, isn't it? So we have a troublemaker coming again here. So this troublemaker wants to make some trouble and then leave. She is very good. She creates little troubles, that's it. Toffee, if I say he, they're not agreeing or they're not accepting. They're protesting, in fact. Come on, say hi. Toffee, you're beauty with brains, isn't it? Say hi. Yeah. Yes, Niharika, I'm glad that you remember that live session. Usually we have complained that our live sessions are very lengthy, but someone remembers something from previous live session, I will consider that as our channel's record. Yes, Prithvi, glad to hear that. You welcome, Sophia. Good, Srish. Nidhi says happiness is temporary. Today, if something is making us smile, the next day it may not. Everything that makes is staying satisfied, joyful with current situation, and making it the best. So, living in the present moment, that's true, that's really relevant. Living in the present moment, enjoying what you have, and then giving your best is obviously going to give you the best result. Yes, Prashanti, glad to hear that. Indu Lakshmi says, sir, you will be the future. It's like comparing a single drop with an ocean. So it's like there shouldn't be there shouldn't be any comparison, frankly speaking. Jack Ma has achieved a lot. He has, there's a lot of sacrifice and hard work in that. We all have that potential. We still have a long way to go. And thank you so much for your love. Exactly, Abhishek. That's the only way. That's true. Only when that happens, money obviously comes. Money comes and goes. That's good. Money is good. It helps you have some level. You can just enjoy. That's fine. But these are the things which we commonly take them for granted. See, that's what beautifully put, Abhishek. Helping others, spreading positivity, and contributing to make a better world. Good. Yes, Niharika, what's true? So Gina says a dog may damage your shoes but never breaks your heart. But contrary, my toffee always damages my shoes and also breaks my heart. Yes, Neetu, ambition of doing all this and just making us to dream big makes us more positive. And the best part is it gives us more energy. Good. That's what the title of this live session is: Go big or go home. There shouldn't be any room for mediocrity. So it's like go big. I have one life, one opportunity. Why don't you at least dream big? You can of course put effort, but start with dreaming big. And thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that, Neetu, and thanks for your love. That's what I said. What I've been doing so far is only 1 to 2% of my potential. That's what I feel. That's how I take it. If I feel I've achieved my potential, I've done my 98%, I'm down, I'm over, I'm finished. And I'm not going to progress anymore. But frankly speaking, there is still a lot more to do. A lot more to teach, a lot more to learn, a lot more to have this kind of positive communication. And as I said, a person sitting in Elu or Gujarat or Rajasthan or Andhra, it's not just India. Any place, anywhere, all over the world, it's possible because of this telecommunication and internet. We should be able to have this kind of communication, sharing. We have different cultural backgrounds. Even in India, we can't underestimate it. Every state has its own cultural background, so we are able to communicate in spite of these cultural language barriers, isn't it? So if the same happens throughout the world, it will be even more great. It will be even more great. That's what I personally feel. Nature lover, you still have some time. I know I'm much more older than you, but I'm not really younger enough to write an autobiography. Oh, come on. Right, we have any general questions? Drop them. You think we should write a separate autobiography? Frankly speaking, our Facebook status, our Facebook timeline, our WhatsApp updates, they are nothing but our autobiographies, isn't it? Why should every one of us write a separate autobiography? We have our autobiographies in form of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., isn't it? Good, Nidhi, well said. Yes, Judge, very well put. Positive thinking is a sign of good luck. Good. Yes. So, you have any experiences to share or you want to share your feelings? This would be a wonderful platform. It's already 15 minutes. We'll not make it more than 60 minutes, right? We'll stop it within 60 minutes. So, general session, I was like, okay, we can go 45 minutes to 1 hour so that everyone of us will have some time to share our experiences and interact. But subject discussions will be less than 30 minutes. We'll try to restrict our subject discussions to around 20 to 30 minutes, right? Yeah. I mean, when I call her, she doesn't come, and when I want to kiss her, she doesn't come and she doesn't really cooperate. I mean, my heart breaks when Toffee doesn't listen to what I say. For example, I'll call Toffee now. Let's see if she comes or not. Toffee, I'll call 3 times, maximum 3 times. 1 time. Toffee, 2 times. Toffee, 3 times. My heart is broken now. No, no. Toffee, Toffee, thank you for coming. Yes. Yes, my heart is intact. Toffee has come in 3 calls. Yes. So finally, Gina wins. Myself, I lose. And Toffee also wins. Toffee, thank you for not breaking my heart. You know, there is a bit of cheating. In fact, our entire conversation, my wife is listening, so she literally pushed Toffee into my room, or else Toffee wouldn't have come. So that's the reality. Yes, Toffee needs a boyfriend. Toffee still has some time. Hi Shahir. You can drop a mail. We'll send you the details of our schedule, live session schedule. You can just drop a mail. proudtobedentist@gmail.com. Purvil, your husband also admires you every day that you're doing a difficult job. Thank you so much, and convey my hi to your husband. If I'm not wrong, it's a good name. Is it Shubham? Yes, I've seen his name, in the transaction today. Yes. Convey my regards to your husband also. And thank you so much for your love and affection. Okay, it's been 51 minutes. Shall we continue or shall we take a break? So this week we have added around 8 videos to our e-classes exclusively. We're going to have more and more videos in the coming weeks, and we'll try doing maximum from our side to provide you as much information as possible. PTBD. If I plan to write something, that's going to start with PTBD. So PTBD is something which, it's like my matrix. We started this online project of Facebook 2011. 2011. Yes, 2011 Jan 19th was the date when we started Proud to be Dentist group in Facebook. So there I started my journey. So I had many friends from there, right from there, having a lot of support. So obviously it's going to be PTBD. And even my academy is PTBD, so that's my favorite. So Nidhi has an answer already. Yes, Muni, if you want me to continue, I just can't keep quiet, right? So you give me something to talk, or you share your experiences, we'll have a big discussion. Okay, we'll have some music and then we'll conclude, right? Yeah.
Mobile device not found.
Okay, I have problem connecting. Okay. I'll share this pic in our WhatsApp update group, okay? You can just have it somewhere in your room. Okay, then in that case, see you next Wednesday. We'll again come up with 5 more live sessions next week, just like we did this week. And thank you so much. And by the way, I have some information to share with all of you. We're starting our grand test batch. We'll be having a grand test soon. You can go through the video in our YouTube channel. I've updated one video. So grand test batch, you can drop a mail for more details, right? So wish you all the best and love you all. Take care. Bye. Good night. Again, my wife is going to scold me if I don't say welcome. Yes, you're welcome, Shilpa. You're welcome, Shivaranjani. Yes, Nidhi, I'll consider definitely. Oral surgery, sure. Regina, good night. Spokojno, Jnoshi. Bernice, we're missing Bernice today. Ramesh. Yes, yes, Muni, bye. You're welcome, Preeti. You're welcome, Shahir. Yes, Shubhra Trinidhi. Okay. Right. Bye, all of you. You're most welcome. Take care. Love you all. We'll see you again. I mean, you have any questions or anything you want to share, you can drop a mail round the clock. Right? Yeah. You're welcome, Purvi. Yes, to ma'am also. Definitely, I'll convey your good night to ma'am. Ramya, you saying hi to Toffee? Okay. Right. Hi from Toffee's side as well. Yeah, bye. Take care. Yes, Priya, you're welcome, right? I'm just breaking this video. Bye. Take care.